Hi, and welcome to HyperVoice. What I want to do is just take you through essentially what HyperVoice is, what HyperVoice does. And this is the tool that I've been used to build itself as well as to build other products that I've created. So we start off with the default page, that's where you land. It says the hotkey that you use to record voice. So very quickly, an example of this is I'm recording this using HyperVoice. What will happen is HyperVoice is a voice-to-text application. Phenomenal, it works well, works brilliantly. Transcription times are very good on good hardware, and on older hardware, it's good. What else? So here is an example of this description, or the transcription. You do have different post-processing modes, so processing modes. So what we did was we transcribed exactly what I said. However, if we do want to clean up grammar, we can press this button. If we want it to be an email, so for example, tell my boss, Peter, that I will be late in the morning and please start the meeting without me. I will join as soon as I can. So this is taking what you've said, it's actually transcribing it locally on your own machine. And then what it's doing is it's sending it off to the cloud to reword into an email. Okay, so dear Peter, I hope this message finds you well. I wanted to inform you that I will be arriving late tomorrow morning. Please feel free to start the meeting without me and I will join as soon as I can. Sounds like I'm the boss at the moment. Chat message. Tell Peter that I'm in a meeting and I will chat to him as soon as I can. So what this does is it just really reorganizes that message for a Teams message or something like that. What we can do is we can add in ums and ahs and Peter, I'm going to be running late for the meeting. I'll join you as soon as I can. And we can say ah. So hopefully this filters all of that. I'm running out late for the meeting. I'll join as soon as I can. So that did a really good job of filtering out all of the unnecessary things where that was specific for that chat message. Meeting notes. Today we had a meeting at 21:49, which is the time now. We discussed HyperVoice, we discussed HyperMD, and we discussed Claude Connect. All of these applications are going to be released as a bundle at some stage. And HyperMD is a new application that is phenomenal at reading and writing markdown files. So these are really just notes relating to the meeting. So a summary, the meeting is focused on the upcoming release of 3 applications, HyperVoice, HyperMD, and Claude Connect, which will be launched as a bundle. Key discussion points and everything like that. Action items, nothing really. Bullet points are, as you know, bullet points, status update. HyperMD was created today. It allows you to load markdown files in both a rendered and pre-rendered view with an editor in it. You can actually search through that, search through folders, and when you save or when you try to save, it shows differences between the pre-saved and the version you're about to save. So status update, let's see what comes of that. So project status update, HyperMD accomplished, developed HyperMD, a tool for loading markdown files, implemented both rendered and pre-rendered views. In progress, further testing on the search functionality and save differences feature. Blockers, next steps, no blockers. So that's really nice for a status update. And then a ticket or an issue. I have noticed in HyperMD that when I do search for text, the text in the editable view is displayed nicely. However, in the rendered view, what happens is the highlighted text is slightly below the bottom of the viewport. So that is one of the issues that I'm having with HyperMD at the moment that I'm busy sorting out. So here we go, title, highlighted text, misalignment and rendered view of HyperMD, description in the HyperMD application. When performing a text search, the highlighted text is rendered view. In the rendered view, does not align correctly within the viewport. Steps to reproduce, enter text into the editable view, perform a search for a specific term, observe the highlighted. I mean, that is correct. That's perfect, actually. And all of this at the bottom, we can see here, I'm using the large V3 Turbo model. It's 1.6 gigabytes of download. I do have an NVIDIA RTX 5070 GPU. It is quite a nice GPU. It is a nice GPU. It's a great one, actually. And transcription time there took 368 milliseconds. Post-processing took just shy of 4 seconds post-process. And with it doing all of that work for you, you can never type that in 4 seconds yourself. Most probably not. Next feature that we've got is on the left-hand side, we've got our history. So we've got the history of everything that we said. Let's just turn HyperVoice Cloud off. Post-processing. This was spoken at 145 words per minute, 130 words per minute, 211 words per minute, and 182 words per minute. So it's significantly quicker than you can actually type. So we've got a history. We can copy history from this as well. We do have on the left-hand side, the next one down is the dictionary replacements. So if we add in here island, and we're going to change it to the city. And now what you're going to say is, I'm going to go and visit the island in 2 weeks. And there it replaces it to the word city. So that's really what the dictionary and replacements does. I've noticed that sometimes the different models have picked up different things. So in the tiny, I think the 75 megabyte version, it picked up Claude as CLAWED. So I just did a quick dictionary replacement. So if it does appear, it gets replaced inside of my text. Would I ever use the word Claude? Is it a word? I don't know. I don't think I've ever used that before. Vocabulary hints are terms that help improve recognition of names and jargon. So if you are dealing with medical terms, this is where you'd add in vocabulary hints for that. Next one down are custom modes. So custom modes allows you, just like we've got custom modes here with cleanup, bullet points, tickets, status updates, you can add your own custom mode here for whatever you would like it to be. You might want another ticket to be created, but you might want to create it in your very own format that you require for work or that the company requires. It might need to be formatted very specifically. So here you can actually say, I want the problem, I want the solution, or I want the problem, I want recommendations, I want the solution, I want steps to reproduce. So anything that you speak to it, you can get AI to automatically reorganize that how you want to. So it's fantastic when you need to comply to things or when you really want things to be done the way that you want them to be done. Next up, statistics. Number of transcriptions, total words, speaking time, average speed 134 words per minute. I do take some time with things, so I think as I'm busy talking, so that obviously reduces it, but still quicker than typing, especially if you actually have your thoughts together and you know exactly what to say. iModel, Parakeet is the new NVIDIA recognition engine, the transcription engine. I have been testing that out quite a bit. I noticed that it does pick up the and and things like that, those filler words. It does pick those up and transcribe them. I thought it was quicker than the Whisper models, but I have realized that Whisper is actually quicker and does a better job of getting rid of those filler words. Whisper, very happy with it at the moment. Trying the large V3 Turbo again, very happy with that. But what I was using, I think it was the base English, which is about 500 megabytes, 450, 500 megabytes to install. That has been phenomenal and probably used that this entire development process or the vibe coding and also prior to vibe coding. That's done wonders and it's always been fantastic for me. I'm just playing with large V3 Turbo because I see some people have actually downloaded it, using it. Some have longer transcription time, so the average transcription time seems to be quite long. And I know that this will battle on laptops and PCs with older graphics cards or no graphics cards. So I really wanted to check how quick it was. I have a graphics card, so I can't really test how slow it is without a graphics card. Next up, we've got our changelog. So just what has changed over the time with all of these different versions. And then we've got settings. So I've built something in for myself, just a streaming mode that hides and redacts certain information. We have our theme, our light mode and dark mode. Launch at startup, we can enable all that. Our dictation, here you can just press your hotkey and test if it all works. If it all works. I speak with a South African accent or a different accent, so anybody who speaks with an American, Canadian, or British accent will have a fantastic time using this. I don't often have issues, but when I do, Claude Code at least knows what I mean by the sentences that I'm saying and also the history. Microphone, it allows you to select your microphone, select your hotkey. Recording mode is if it's toggled, so you press a hotkey. I've actually got my hotkey, Control-Shift-T, bound to the thumb button on my mouse. So I can press the thumb button on my mouse, it toggles it, I speak, and then I press it again, and then it transcribes. Or what you can do is have a push-to-talk button. We've got the output mode where you can paste at the cursor. So I'm going to press my toggle. I'm now going to talk and say something. I press the toggle again and it pastes exactly where my cursor was. Again, this works for Claude Code. Or what you can do is just copy it to the clipboard. I just paste wherever my cursor is. Under the AI tab, it's not really AI, it needs to be fixed up. But here we've got the speech recognition engine, Whisper, loving it at the moment. Parakeet, I implemented that quite recently. Not as good, at least not yet, as Whisper. We've recently introduced the speech language, or I've recently introduced the speech language. So we've got the ability to auto-detect the language that you're speaking, or have English. So if I press auto-detect, come back and I'll say, Hola, ¿cómo estás? Okay, there we go. And hello, how are you? So there we go, we've got auto detection. If you are an English speaking person and you speak English only to Claude Code, it's always better to use an English only model until you get to the larger models. So I'm testing out Large V3 Turbo, although it is multilingual. Once you get past a certain size of model or intelligence of model, English is just as good as an English-only model for the smaller ones. So if you're going to be using English only, use an English-only model on the smaller ones. Once you get to the bigger models, it doesn't really matter. Okay, GPU acceleration. You can enable GPU or CPU-only acceleration. So you might be working on an older machine or an older laptop where you don't have a GPU. Post-processing provider, here we've got HyperVoice Cloud, where with a subscription or you get access to HyperVoice Cloud for free. If you buy the application, or you get access to OpenAI or Anthropic with Bring Your Own Key. If you do buy HyperVoice, a lifetime subscription to HyperVoice, you get access to OpenAI and Anthropic with Bring Your Own Key. So you'll type your key in, you'll click save, and then you've got access to the post-processing. If you are on the free version of HyperVoice, you have no post-processing, and you're also limited to 500 words per day. Then we've got account. That's it. At the bottom, we've got our status bar, so we can enable and disable HyperVoice. We are able to select the models that we've got installed. So we've got base English, small English. I'm running large V3 Turbo, or we can try Parakeet. Just out of interest, Parakeet. How are you today? The first time you do this, it does take a while when you swap to Parakeet. How are you today? Next time, it's quicker. So if we do go back to Whisper, how are you today? How are you today? You see, I think if it's more intentional saying it does recognize it. However, I think if you use it more as a filler or something shorter, it does strip it out. I haven't figured out how that works yet, but it seems to strip out the filler words quite well. Next, at the bottom, we've got the ability to auto-detect language. We've also got the most recently used languages or selected languages down there. Another request has been from a user is to actually have a hotkey to swap between languages. So if you select French as a dedicated language, then what will happen is it will only recognize French, not multilingual. So it's nice for dedicating to a specific language. So if you do only speak French or only speak Spanish or only Greek or Japanese, then select that language specifically rather than using multilingual. Next log is post-processing provider, because I don't have the API keys set up for OpenAI or Anthropic. You don't see them down there. Excuse me. And then also auto paste and clipboard. Where do you want it to go? And then the bottom right, we've got our hotkey, the Control-Shift-T, and then the last description, the number of words, how long it took, how many seconds of audio, and the model. And then you can copy that and paste it there. And that is an overview of HyperVoice. Let me know in the comments below what you think. If there's anything that you would like to see in the application, please, if you do download it and do try it, let me know if you have any problems, please. I am still new to this thing. I am still new to streaming, new to trying to get this built. It is really in beta at the moment. But if you do have any problems, let me know. I do want to get them fixed and I want it working for you. I only have this available for Windows at the moment. It will be coming out to Mac and it will be coming out to Linux sometime in the future. I really want to get the Windows to a stable version. I think it's there at the moment. I think the last update I made was only the multilingual side of it. After that, I don't know what needs to be done at the moment until I start getting feedback from you. So please let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you have any issues. I will get them sorted out. And yeah, thank you for watching.